The origin of Mother's Day dates back to the early 1900s. A woman named Anna Jarvis started a campaign for an official holiday honoring mothers in 1905, the year her own mother died. The first large-scale celebration of the holiday was in 1908, when Jarvis held a public memorial for her mother in her hometown of Grafton, West Virginia. Over the next few years, Jarvis pushed to have the holiday officially recognized, and it was celebrated increasingly in more and more states around the United States. Finally, in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation making Mother's Day an official holiday to take place the second Sunday of May. Anna Jarvis put Mother's Day on the calendar as a day dedicated to expressing love and gratitude to mothers, acknowledging the sacrifices women make for their children. Her mother, Jarvis Reeves, played an important role in uniting women for good causes. She cared for wounded soldiers on both sides of the field during the Civil War, and in its aftermath, she organized a Mother's Friendship Day with a goal to foster reconciliation between former Union and Confederate soldiers by having them come together, along with mothers from both sides. With the senior Jarvis' lifelong focus on caring for children and promoting peace, it's no wonder her daughter fought for a day just for moms. At around the same time, Anne Reeves Jarvis was working with mothers in the spirit of peace. Together with Julia Ward Howe, another activist as well as abolitionist and suffragette, worked to have June 2nd to be celebrated as Mother's Peace Day. They wrote a Mother's Day proclamation calling on mothers to work hard towards world peace. These women and others were responsible for precursors to Mother's Day in American culture. Around the world, Mother's Day is celebrated in a variety of ways on different dates throughout the year, though many countries observe the holiday on the same day as the United States. Proof of the powerful impact made by Anna Jarvis. In Africa, we have iconic women throughout history who have helped shape and create culture. From legendary musicians and leaders to prolific writers and social activists, these women have incredible legacies that keep us inspired. We give them a highlight as we celebrate this year's Mother's Day. Wangari Maathai. Wangari Muta Maathai was a Kenyan social, environment, and political activist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004 for her dedication to sustainable development, democracy, and peace. Iman, the iconic Somali supermodel, actress, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, has broken barriers for Black women in the beauty world. She remains dedicated to creating products that cater to the needs of women of color and championing diversity. Queen Zinga. Born in 1953, Zinga was a queen of the Central African Kingdom of Matamba and Dongo, who negotiated with, then battled the Portuguese to maintain Angola's independence and limit the trade of enslaved people. Flora Nwapa. Florence Nwapa was a Nigerian author who has been called a mother of modern African literature. She was the forerunner to a generation of African women writers and was also acknowledged as the first African woman novelist to be published in the English language in Britain. She achieved international recognition with her first novel, Efuru, published in 1966 at the age of 30 years. While never considering herself a feminist, she was best known for creating life and tradition from an Igbo woman's viewpoint. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Funmilayo Anikulapo Kuti was a Nigerian educator, political campaigner, suffragist, and women's rights activist. During the 1940s, Ransome Kuti established the Abeokuta Women's Union and fought for women's rights, demanding better representation of women in local governing bodies and putting an end to unfair taxes on market women. She was also the first woman in the country to drive a car. To top it all, she's responsible for bringing Fela Kuti into the world. Angelique Kidjo. Angelique Kidjo is a Beninese musician often considered as Queen of African music. She is an influential singer, a songwriter, an actress, an activist, and she has a Grammy to prove it. She is noted for her diverse musical and creative music videos. In 2007, Time magazine called her Africa's premier diva. Safi Faye, born in November 22, 1943, is a Senegalese filmmaker. She was the first woman in sub-Saharan Africa to direct a commercially distributed feature film, Kadu Baykat, which was released in 1975. She has directed several documentaries and fictional films focusing on rural life in Senegal. Queen Amina. The Hausa Muslim queen is mostly remembered as the Reverend Warrior Queen. She reigned for 34 years and greatly expanded her kingdom through conquest. She also opened up trade routes and is believed to have initiated the cultivation of kola nuts in the territory she ruled. Miriam Makeba. Zenzile Maria Makeba, nicknamed Mama Africa, was a South African singer, a songwriter, an actress, United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, and civil rights activist. She was associated with musical genres including Afropop, jazz, and world music. She was an advocate against apartheid and white minority government in South Africa. And finally, Brenda Fassie. The South African singer was known as the Queen of African Pop. Not only was she an unforgettable performer, she was also an apartheid spokesperson who used her music and one-of-a-kind personality to lash out against an unjust system.